Hello, I'm Byron Star, and this is part 2 of the tutorial about modeling for 3D printing. The last time we've ended with optimizing our curves at those sharp edges, and the homeworks have been to do that optimization, so basically remove the possibility of intersecting faces throughout the whole curve. And now I've done that homework, and let's see whether it's done in a good way. So to check that, there is that 3D printing toolbox plugin which I have installed, but before I can use it I have to convert the curve into a real mesh. So let's do that and create mesh. Now if I go to edit mode, you see here instead of curve points, we have a mesh available, and now there should be that plugin visible. Here you see print 3D, and we can do all kinds of check. The best thing is just do a check all. Okay, and if you're in edit mode, the result is shown as buttons. So what is really good is we do not have non-manifold edges. That are edges which have more than two faces basically. So that those edges or faces wouldn't print well. We have intersecting faces 10. So we have not quite succeeded with eliminating all those sharp edges in a good way. But since it's not too much, instead of going back to the curve and addressing the issue there, I will give it a try to address it here. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's visible here. You see there is these intersecting edges, and what I do is just I take those points and I do a merge. So whenever you do such a thing and you press that button again, you will discover that some strange faces get selected, because now the numbering of the faces is changed. So we really have to do a check all again, and then we are able, you see, two intersecting faces gone. Where else is some intersection here? Zoom in. Okay, similar situation, a little bit of scrolling here, and again to vertice mode and merge those vertices. Back to top, check all. See, we're coming down in number. Again, here is some stuff we need to correct. Yep. Vertice mode, selection, merge. I think you're getting the picture. And still 4. Here, all in one place. Vertice mode. Let's do it this way. And this edge is merged as well. Looks good. And again, check all. And you see, all intersecting faces gone. We do have two non-flat faces. Let's have a short look for those. Mostly it's a similar problem as we had before. Again, we could eliminate those by just merging vertices. This one is wrong, but I think that was the area where the other, yeah, it is here, you see, and we will do the same here, but this time, might be merging at the last. Okay, so another check all, and we only left thin faces, which I usually ignore. I'm not 100% sure whether this is not a problem of the tool itself. So if I select thin faces again, you see here it's somewhat related to those. So not really sure here, but what we could do as well, we could give the overall mesh a try whether there are duplicate nodes. So let me remove doubles, and actually there have been doubles. So now check all. We got rid of some, but not all. So for the time being, just I will leave it that way. Now these overhang faces are actually the base faces of our cookie cutter outline, so that's not a problem at all, because that will be on the printer's bed. So what we can do now is we could give it the first try in exporting. Excuse me. So file, export to STL, and it's just that selected object. And as I told in the first tutorial, I have to export with a scale factor of 10. And let's export the STL. Okay, done. And now let's switch, for example, to Makeware. And we could just give that a try. Move to platform. Okay, you see it has a nice size. That's our cookie cutter, ready to be printed. So I agree, there's no face and so on, but that will be done in the next tutorial. But here we just can start the make process together with the preview, and we will export it to G-code. So take some time. I did say we want a preview, so here we have a preview of our cookie cutter, and we could scroll through the levels as you see here. Let's do a view from top. So sorry. So, and the good thing is, we go down, we get a good impression. That's the raft of our different layers. So you see those edges look quite good. So let's do an export. As I said, we do an export to G-code and get a much better detail view in a different tool. So let's switch to Repeater Host. And Repeater Host is able to load G-code, and we have just created G-code. There it is. Way to Some more zooming. So here we have a much nicer view of what we've done. Here's the raft, so that's our first layer, and as you see, it's really filled nicely here. Let's scroll through those edges. Looks good. Good as well. The foot, the other foot, nice. That edge is nice. So basically I'm looking for holes or some pieces which have a distorted look, but from all I see it's quite okay. If I go up, I get to the top where there is that cutting edge. Yep. So the outline we've prepared in Blender is printable. What are the next steps? There are some more curves which need a certain dimension, so the mouth, nose, eyes, and so on. And for those I have prepared a bevel curve similar to the one for the Cookiecutter. Here it is. See, here is the Cookiecutter curve. And here's a rather simple curve made up from 2 points here and there, which defines the outside of the face parts. And it's a little bit shorter, so that it just is pressing a stamp-like image into the dough instead of cutting through. And we will have to put that on those faces. Oops, here for example the mouth. So here on that curve we have the profile stamp, and all of a sudden we have that third dimension. And if we go to solid mode, we see here the curve is now printable as well. We have maybe to work a little bit with that. We have to align objects as a next step, and definitely we have to create support structures so that all the meshes can be combined in a single mesh before we export the full Cookiecutter to the STL. I hope you liked that tutorial part as well, and see you next time. Bye bye.